Introduction. Medicine in ancient Egypt is considered one of the oldest and most well-known fields that saw significant progress in human history. The ancient Egyptians possessed extensive knowledge in various fields such as diagnosis, treatment, surgery, as well as dentistry and embalming. This civilization was one of the first to contribute greatly to the development of human medicine, not only in treating diseases but also in preventing them. The ancient Egyptians had innovative ways of treating illnesses, and they left behind a significant legacy in this field that continues to influence modern medicine today. The development of medicine in ancient Egypt. Medicine in ancient Egypt was based on a combination of practical knowledge and religious traditions. Ancient Egyptian doctors were highly skilled and studied in temples, which also served as medical and religious centers at the same time. Doctors were considered respected members of society and served in the royal court, playing a significant role in the care of the royal family and nobles. Ancient Egyptian medicine was not limited to physical treatments but also included spiritual and religious dimensions. It was believed that illnesses could be caused by the anger of gods or negative spiritual influences, so treatments varied between medical care and religious rituals. Medical practices in ancient Egypt. Doctors in ancient Egypt used many therapeutic methods that ranged from herbal medicine and natural remedies to surgical techniques. Some of the most prominent treatments used by the ancient Egyptians include: 1. Herbal medicine. The ancient Egyptians used a wide range of natural herbs to treat diseases, such as garlic, which was used to treat infectious diseases and digestive problems, and honey, which had antibacterial properties and was used to treat wounds and infections. 2. Minerals and natural materials. Minerals like copper and iron were used to create medical tools, including surgical instruments. They also used glass in preparing some medicines. 3. Surgery. Ancient Egyptians had relatively advanced surgical techniques, performing complex surgeries like suturing wounds, removing tumors, and dental surgery. They also performed operations on eye samples and treated fractures. There were also techniques for treating complex wounds using glass beads for sterilization. Four. Preventive medicine. The ancient Egyptians believed that prevention was an important part of healthcare. Practices such as daily bathing and hand washing were part of their daily routine, helping reduce the spread of many diseases. They also encouraged maintaining a healthy diet and regular physical exercise. Prominent Egyptian physicians in history. One of the most famous physicians who made significant contributions to the field of medicine in ancient Egypt is Imhotep, who is considered one of the first famous doctors in human history. He was also a priest, architect, and scholar. It is believed that Imhotep was the first to establish the principles of anatomy and describe many diseases in a systematic manner. He was also considered a god of healing in later periods. Some historical texts suggest that Imhotep also played a key role in the development of psychiatry. Spiritual and religious medicine in ancient Egypt. Medicine in ancient Egypt was closely linked to spirituality and religion, with doctors working alongside priests. It was believed that many illnesses resulted from divine curses or anger, so medical treatments also involved religious rituals, prayers, and approaching the gods for healing. For example, a patient might go to a temple dedicated to the gods Sobek or Hathor to seek healing. There were also specialized spiritual healers who used chants and religious rituals as part of the healing process. Egyptian medical manuscripts. Medical manuscripts from ancient Egypt represent an important source of understanding how the ancient Egyptians dealt with diseases. One of the most notable manuscripts is the Ebers Papyrus, an ancient medical text that contains about 700 medicinal recipes and remedies, as well as methods for diagnosing diseases. This papyrus is considered one of the oldest surviving medical texts and shows the ancient Egyptians' knowledge of diagnosing and treating common ailments such as wounds, gynecological disorders, and infectious diseases. Some manuscripts also include references to techniques for psychiatric care, such as relaxation therapy. Embalming and its relation to medicine. Embalming in ancient Egypt played a significant role in advancing the understanding of human anatomy. Through the embalming process, priests conducted detailed examinations of the deceased body, which allowed them to gain a deep understanding of human anatomy. The ancient Egyptians used this knowledge to improve their medical treatments and perform surgeries. For example, they used preserving substances to embalm bodies, giving them profound insight into how to preserve human tissues. Ancient Egyptian medicine compared to other civilizations. Although other civilizations like the Sumerian and Indian civilizations also had medical traditions, ancient Egyptian medicine was distinguished by its development and use of medicines and surgical treatments. Ancient Egypt was ahead of many civilizations in understanding the human body and methods for treating diseases. Additionally, their embalming techniques were advanced, giving them an edge in studying human anatomy. Ancient Egyptian military medicine was also advanced, as doctors treated soldiers' injuries in wars, using surgical techniques to treat wounds from battles. Conclusion: Ancient Egyptian medicine and its impact on the world. The ancient Egyptians made enormous contributions to the field of medicine, being among the first to establish effective medical practices that included diagnosis, treatment, and even preventive methods. The impact of these achievements is still visible in modern medicine through medical tools, herbal remedies, and even some surgical techniques. The legacy of ancient Egyptian medicine deserves to be studied and celebrated for its profound influence on the development of healthcare in later eras. If you're interested in learning more fascinating facts about medicine in ancient civilizations, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting information.